45 points blank. They are starting to accelerate away from that top pack that's been neck and neck for quite a while, and Ulf go down. 115 locked in on the points tallies there. Alpha 7 looking to continue their ascent as well, closer to that 120 safety zone.
I mean, all right, they have gone from strength to strength in the past. I mean, I remember when this team felt like a bit of a footnote in some of the tournaments way back when, but they have just stayed persistent within the scene, and coming out now just swinging like this is truly incredible work. Ida will go down to Malloy off a nice nade, but a nade doesn't quite bubble just over the top towards Malloy to get the re-knock. More damage over the top now. These air bursts are pretty good though, coming through from VP. That should be the finish on at least one, leaving just Marth now alive behind the rock.
Pushes up, needs to get the heal first. Alpha 7 capitalizing. This should be an Alpha 7 chicken dinner. Virtus.pro crammed into a corner here. The numbers advantage is there. Aragon able to do the rest of the damage necessary to take down R8. And maybe Virtus.pro could turn around now. Alpha 7 not fully in position yet, but they will establish as time goes on. Revo steps up, and he will be able to find the first. A second with a DBS. No, not quite. But the turnaround for Carrillo is there, and they trade it off. Alpha 7 really want to stay in the top 7, and they will be able to do so. A chicken dinner in the penultimate match. That's how you lock your spot down.
There's the DBS master at work, gets a knock and then a massive amount of damage onto the next player as well. And for Alpha 7, that's going to secure them in. And you can see that it's the hunger from this team. It seems to be back. There's been some switch outs. Revo, Carrillo back at it again, but Guizao as well Obscure have been such great additions to this team. They're just fingers crossed they don't get kicked off this tournament, because come on, please, let's just keep a stable roster. One time Alpha 7, I beg.
Oh, maybe this will be the time that they're able to do it. But we are also looking at teams that have really fallen short of the mark. Alpha 7 found that resurgence, but a lot of teams that game needed a lot, and not many of them found it. It's good to see the spots getting locked in, and it is still a chase for that 7th place spot. But 6th looks like it's just out of reach at this point.
Absolutely does. I mean, for Alpha 7, what a fantastic game from them. Just barely missing it. Now they've got a little bit further to go on that last game. But VP, maybe they're chasing too.
Bring it back. Bring it. Keep it Look at all this. Bring it.
Oh, the hype is real. Alpha 7 get the chicken dinner on that one. And with that game, guys, that is it. Alpha 7 have secured their spot into the grand finals. What a nice finish for this squad here, Max.
I'm gonna do it for 7. Do Brazil! Let's go! We wanted to see that happen. Alpha 7 definitely reaching the expectations we had a lot more compared to PMWC, right? But here the circle, it kept shifting up northwest, and it was forcing a lot of the teams to just fight each other. And Alpha 7 playing with his circle, I would say here, Niptra, down to a T, just letting everyone fight each other and just like, okay, we still have 4 players alive. We're going to pick the final fight at the perfect time and wrap up that chicken dinner in style. Alpha 7, a lot closer to that initial expectations, and I'm hoping to see more of that moving forward.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree, Neptura. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? They did make us a little bit worried there for a second, but they shut that down real quick.
Yeah, they sure did. It was really nice to see as well because, you know, going into Miramar, going into the Chaos rounds, right? Everything is possible. So really nice for them to just get that win out of the way, get those points on the board and go, hey, whatever happens next game's not our problem.
Well, you know what? The last game is going to be a serious problem here, guys, because one more is left to go right here. But before we get into those storylines, let's just go ahead and hype up this squad one more time, right? Rebel getting 3 eliminations. I'll tell you what, you know, I think a lot of people had a big question mark on their head right before this tournament, Max, man, because, you know, Mafioso, a legend, has been with the squad for so long. You got Guizao and Obscure on the squad, but I'll tell you what, this change has really been working out for them.
I really enjoy this change, but I think Guizao and Obscure have been doing a little bit too good. So wherever this game's like, I'm going to show them who's boss, okay? Who's the true Alpha 7 OG, and he performs a little bit better here, getting himself almost 650 damage, 3 eliminations to boot. So definitely a really, really solid game coming out from the entirety of Alpha 7 and the IG Lingo of Carrillo. Again, understanding fully how to abuse this circle in their favor, because the death of a lot of teams in Iptra, this match clearly was Los Leones. A lot of teams were forced into making that call to go through the city. And as we saw, a lot of teams did not make it out alive, or at least not as a full team.
No, they didn't. I mean, so many teams fell victim to that, right? APG had a really rough game. They were trying, but they got surrounded so easily. OG as well had to kind of limp into a building and do their best as a solo. And it was not the game that teams wanted, for sure. I mean, we did have a few outliers, of course. You did have Dick Xavier out on the western edge there, who were able to survive quite a long time into game, still racking up those points. You also had Ulf over onto the center side, up on a high ground. So a few teams were okay, but again, the zone does the thing that nobody likes, and nobody likes that. They ended up out crazy.
Man, it's so crazy. At first, I thought we were gonna get that Los Leones City finish. I was so excited, but then it goes and heads up to the north. Alpha 7 had that western side position, and then they just closed it after that. But man, you know, a lot of things to talk about in this game. You know, one of them in particular, we saw OG, right? A little bit earlier, they end up getting 7 eliminations. I do want to give props to ACOP though on that beautiful nade though to finish out that squad. But man, yeah, that was beautifully done. They're definitely fighting their hearts out here. I will give it up to Team India for their first PMGC. For them to even be right in the position they're in on the leaderboards, you got to give it up for them, right, Max?
Definitely. You're looking at the players on an individual basis. I would say every single one of them deserve to be here at PMGC. AKOP had some great plays that nade, that clutch especially. I hope we're going to see in this replay. Actually, no, I think we did miss that replay. But he did clutch up versus Wolves, right? So very, very nice stuff coming out from AKOP. But I'm really curious, Hodrix, to see the leaderboards, how close it's going to be, because these teams, I'm telling you, they're going to be chasing it down here for the top 7 in the very last game of the Gauntlet. Looking back at these replays throughout the rotations, Alpha 7 dropping so far away, Niptura, but we're going to see the circle keep shifting their way, and they just obliterate the lobby in the mid to late game stage.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how actually VP rotate as well here, because they're on the south side, and we did see them on the north in the end in those final zones, right? And I kind of, so much stuff was happening in the center, I didn't really see VP do much here, so kind of surprised to see him in the top 3, but yeah, A7 just being able to control the whole north side here. Ulf, of course, still in the center doing their thing. And there goes VP just wrapping around, just sharing a little bit of space with A7, just chilling, taking out Ulf maybe potentially here. So just trying to clear off those sides that do what they need to do, make sure they have that space to move around, and it got them that second place.
Yeah, I really like the... Sorry, I'm going to go on Alpha 7 again because I feel like they had the most interesting rotations this game.
Yeah.
They understood a majority of the lobby were going to respond to that circle by going in the city early on as like... But as you said, Hodrix, we thought it was going to be a city Los Leones finish, but no, it tended to move away. So by delaying your rotate, if it does shift away, guess what? You're the first team to pick off those strong positions that are going to be in the later game scenario of this match. So very happy with Alpha 7. 16-point game. Let's keep in mind, they did have a 0-point game earlier. I was a bit scared maybe they could slip out of top 7, but no, this 16-point chicken dinner is exactly what they needed to make sure Brazil is present at the biggest stage here for the Global Championship.
That's right. Hit that stamp, book that ticket to the grand finals. That's how you do it right there. I mean, Alpha 7's rotations, they're absolutely one of my favorites to watch because they can pull out a chicken dinner from the most crazy spots. You saw them land so far in the north, and I love that graphic because it shows such a difference from the last game, right? DX Xavier, they got into that spot so early and they just sat there all the way to the win. But A7, they're so good at that edge style play, Neptura, right? I think when it comes to playing from the edge out, there's nobody that does it better than Alpha 7. What do you think?
Yeah, they certainly have the most experience into this, and that experience is paying off. There we go. 123 points. They are unstoppable now. No way they can drop down past that 7th place, but you see R8 continuing. I mean, they had a really good game again in this last game, right? In this last Miramar. So another good game, just making sure that they're solidly on that top spot.
So actually, the point threshold here did not move. It was 105 points between Ulf and Xavier before this game. It remains at 105 points. The entry point top 7 has not budged at all this previous Miramar game. Xavier currently on the cusp. DRX 6 points away. 7 points needed for Wolves, and then you're looking at Orangutan. They need 15 points. So pretty much, if you're below Wolves and DRX, if Xavier don't do anything, you need a win. If you're up there, otherwise, DRX Wolves, you need to get a strong top 3 finish. Is there going to be any movement in the leaderboard, Totrix? I don't know. It might just stay this way until the end.
You want my honest opinion?
Tell me.
How real should I keep it? 1 to 100.
As Nitro would say,
100.
100% real.
100% real? It's over. That's in my opinion. I'm telling you, I've seen this happen so many times. The last game is so toxic, right? Because almost the entire lobby knows where they're going to end up, if they're going to go to the finals or not. That only leaves a few teams so desperate for points. Those shenanigans coming into play, I can't tell you how many times where I've seen a team only need 1 point and they couldn't even get it in the last game. So in my opinion, right, from the history of this game, I would not be shocked at all if we don't see this leaderboard change. I think that the top 7's locked in, and it's up for all of these squads to change the script. What do you think, Max, man?
Take fate in your own hands. I fully agree with your point. No, history has been saying that in the past, this is not going to budge by too much. But you know what? I don't want history to repeat itself, Niptura. Looking at teams that can move out, that can maybe climb and change the script here in this last game. Do you have any teams in mind looking at maybe DRX, Wolves, OG?
I think DRX have the best chance just because of how they've been playing. Wolves, even though they won on Rondo, they haven't really done much since. And OG and Down, honestly, 10th place and Down, I don't think have a real shot here. OG might be able to pull up some points, but not 15. I don't think so.
It's a tough one. I'm going Wolves. I think Wolves are going to make it. That's my prediction.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, no, Max, man. I mean, you know what? Don't you do that curse stuff on us, Max, man. I will be real. I want to see the Wolves so bad do this. The reason why I'm keeping it real is because, I mean, I have to, right? I've seen this happen so many times. I warned about how this last game was so imperative because of all the craziness that happens in the final match, right? So Wolves, I mean, they have to do something special here in my eyes. It is so rare to see a squad be able to clutch it up on a final match like this, Neptura. But out of all the squads listed, for me, it's the Wolves for sure. Come on, baby, let's do it.
Come on, we gotta have the Wolves, right? And you know what? Maybe they'll take advantage of the chaos, you know? Maybe they'll have no pressure on them. It's like, listen, it's the last game. Either we do it or we don't. The other teams are also worried about fighting each other. Maybe they'll be able to slip in, do their thing, and then in the end game just spread out and do exactly what they've been wanting to do this whole time.
We're talking about the teams currently not in top 7, right? We're looking at DRX, Wolves, again, Orangutan. Xavier, how are they going to approach this game? They know they're currently the cutoff team as the entry point for the grand finals. I would say Xavier, this is a game where you have to play passive. I want to see them get into top 5 minimum if they want to be comfortable to move into the next stage of the global championship. Xavier's got to be very careful, man. I don't think it's going to get to the point where they're going to get hot dropped by any particular team. That's good.
For sure.
That's way too risky. But at this point, Xavier, play it slow. If you're not in top 5, for me, they might just slip out of top 7.
Man, you know, looking at this, and I'm of teams that could change the script, Netura, right? DRX 6 points away from Xavier. Wolves 7 points away from Xavier. Okay, and that is if Xavier puts up nothing in this match, right? How about a little prediction, right? Last match of the day. Let's deal with some predictions. For Xavier, in my opinion, Ulf have made it, right? I think those are the only 3 teams at play here, right? How many points do we need to see Xavier make in order for them to secure their spot in the grand finals? What do you think?
How many points?
Yes, how many points?
For
Xavier.
DRX. Xavier, at least 10.
At least 10. Well, you know what? Let's see what happens here. But before that, we got a nice interview on the stage with the 7WG.
Welcome back to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm joined by none other than Rebel. They just got to win and secure your ticket to the grand finals. Besides securing the ticket to the grand finals, what does that win mean to you, Rebel?
Well, that win means a lot for us. I wanted to go to the finals because I lost the important person in my life, and I want to go to finals for her.
Well, you're definitely going to be able to do that, but now there's still one more match left. There are some teams that are currently struggling, like DRX, Wolves, that beat you in Americas. Are you looking to maybe make it a little bit more difficult for them to make it into the finals?
To be honest, no. We are trying to get the top 2. I know the top 1 it's almost impossible, but we're gonna try to get the top 2 to get another win and stay in the top 2.
Anything you want to tell to the Brazilian fans?
Thank you for all support. I love you guys, and let's go for 7. Let's go Brazil. Let's go Americas.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As we're about to jump into the final match of the Gauntlet, we will be securing more spots and deciding who's going to be going directly to the finals.
Well, I've held off talking about it because, you know, I was waiting to see what Revo would say about the situation. But for those of you guys that happen to follow him, he did end up losing his mother very recently here. The fact that he's playing and performing at the level that he is, I am so incredibly proud of him and what his team has done so far. So, I mean, Alpha 7 had deserved this spot to the grand finals, and I'm glad that we're going to see them there, Max.
I'm happy he's using it as a positive force to try and move forward and make an achievement also and in this PMGC. So I'm very happy that's the mindset that Revo has. And he's one of the absolute OGs in PUBG Mobile Esport. And we know what this guy can bring to the table when he fully commits to his craft in being the best of the best in this esports scene. And you know what? Currently, with their ranks, top 3 strong podium finish here. It's in the cards, Hot Jukes. They can make it happen on this final game on Miramar.
Well, you know what? There's 3 teams that definitely need to make it happen. That's Xavier, DRX, and the Wolves. Who's going to get that last spot to the PUBG Mobile Grand Finals live in Bangkok, Thailand? Let's take it on over to the casters for the last time.
One more chance here to put the points on the tables when it matters most. That direct qualification spot is the goal of every single team in this lobby now. It looks all but set that 6 of those tickets have been booked. It is that 7th wild card entrant that is still up for grabs.
We'll have to wait and see until the end of this game. 1 slot being available does make this a rather exciting prospect for a few teams underneath, still chasing. Still a chance for OG as well. It will have to be a big game from them, though. Something very different to what we've seen from them in the past couple of games. But AKA OP, I mentioned he's feeling the high after that squad wipe over to Wolves solo. We have a fairly southern playing path. It's not terrible, though. Heads up towards truck stop. So still quite a few areas to pass on by to. Head towards that north side, grab some vehicles. Because it's not so leaning towards Puerto Paraíso, it means that there's way more vehicles available on the roads and less clashes likely to happen early on.
It has got to be nerve-wracking to drop in at risk, but Mad Bulls, I mean, they're on the camera right now. They're one of the teams that's going to be feeling a lot more chill with it. The circle sends out to the east side again. Not quite as south-leaning and a lot less water in this one. It's still going to feature La Zahar, Impala, open area to the west towards La Bandita as well.
GS starting in Impala, which is not terrible for them. DX down towards Los Leones start just on the western side of it. This is the team that is in trouble in 7th place, with DRX and Wolves both knocking on the door here. 6 points behind, 7 points behind the Wolves and DRX. OG a little further with 15 points, and that's with profit onto whatever DXAV is able to make happen during this game. Ulf is currently safe, I would say, barring an incredible performance from both DRX and Wolves and DXAV. So it'd take a lot. It would take a lot.
It definitely would. But that's what these teams here, every single one of them can deliver, right? Even towards the bottom, we saw Geeky deliver a chicken dinner during today's games. It is a set of championship teams, right? It is every single one of these teams has made it to the top of their respective regions, are the best in the business when it comes to PUBG Mobile. And that's what we're witnessing here. Those Titans taking one another on. And it has been exciting. A treacherous road for many. As those 7 places loom over them. A big threat. Nobody clashing just yet. Mad Bulls on that north side near water treatment. Actually sending further away from the circle. They're going out to La Cobraria by the looks of things.
Yeah, picking up their original drop spot. May as well. I mean, later on, they can just re-rotate across Torre Armada, Campo Militar, pass back down once other teams have crossed. I think they realize at this state of the game, you know, they're already quite far away from the center of the circle. May as well just take their time looting in an area that they're comfortable in. And then even, you know, even a Western rotate down El Pozo, Monte Nuevo could work. Pass through Los Leones. We've seen a lot of teams last game being able to pass through there undetected. But always a slow start here on Miramar. Ulf, I think, have done enough. I think they'd like maybe like 3 points here. I mean, getting in towards the top 3 would be cool, but catching up to Thunder Talk, Kara, and R8 is very tough for every team here.
Yeah, it's really not the easiest of tasks. I mean, you heard Alpha 7, they want that second place, maybe not first. It's good that they're tempering their expectations there on that one. To be able to chase that one down would be pretty monumental, especially for Alpha 7, given that they started their day not in the best of spots. I mean, they were still towards the top 7, but maybe not a top spot contender. And it is only one match to do it, and you've got to think it's just not going to be possible, really, to jump on up there. Kara, though, they might have a chance. They might have a shot at taking that top spot back from R8. Does need R8 to go down pretty quickly, though, and not get more than, say, 3 points on this game.
Yeah, pretty much if R8 starts profiting, that's where it's difficult for Kara. But I think that it's one of the things that's a little bit more likely, considering we know how strong Kara can be in firefights. They're more than capable of putting up those elimination points, which is the thing that will tip them over the edge into first place. They're already quite central, but just sitting around Thunder Talk at the moment. Constantly clashing, these two teams are. Marceau able to do a huge amount of damage over towards Thunder Talk last game on a side swipe, which was pretty nasty.
I mean, we've seen some pretty brilliant things coming through from both of these rosters. Feels like CEO has been a name in our vocabulary for today, certainly more often than most of the others on Kara. He's been looking for it. Oh, Geeke, a little morsel, maybe. No, diversion. They're going to separate, extricate themselves. And actually, Thunder Talk folding back. I mean, that just shows what we were talking about before, those fundamentals. We're not going to get cut off. This could be a whole team rocking up, trying to go for a crash. They're not sure it's Geeke. They might have an inkling. You can never be sure. Ooh, oof. That is in the middle of nowhere, so it should be resible, but still. Kara now turn their attention over towards Geeke themselves, and Marceau sees the US just too late and immediately is flushed away. Kara lose a player.
For Geeke, getting up to a 60-point margin would be nice. Set themselves on par with 15th. You know, leave with their head held high. Not the worst of the bunch, or just the worst at the bottom of the table. And there's Ed going down. Should be able to get him picked back up again, though. Shot along the way. Like you said, good fundamentals from Thunder Talk, though. They see a team coming, they fall back, they know they have hardcover to work with, but they also know that Kara is on the other side here. So Geeke was essentially walking straight into a pincer. It's very well done from Thunder Talk. Again, if they don't have to do the fighting, they won't.
They will look to try and divert away, try and get extricated if they can. Geeke, they're up to 2 elims. Are we going to see another Geeke chicken dinner to close down the day when everybody else definitely needs it more? I mean, I don't know. It's too early to call, and they only have 2 elims so far. But they are in a pretty decent spot near Minas Generalis.
Would be nice. A cool way to finish out the day, at least. Kara, the dreams at first place are dashed. It's only down to 2 players now, and dreams at second place might be looking rough as well, with only 3 points needed to tie even. Thunder Talk.
And then moves forwards. Sighting with a nade in response. Doesn't tag on, but does keep him inside the concrete. A little bit of a bold switch around there to go to the other side. Very exposed, that open wall, but looks for the challenge. Doesn't connect, really. And his teammates now moving up, using that covering fire to establish a little bit more of a forward position. But the nades from Thundertalk get to really have an impact. We'll see if that can change. The healing needing to come through as well. The sighting goes very, very low. So does King as well. And Ragnarok does go down. He has been spotted. Sighting got that healing on board, and now he steps in with a shotgun. We'll see if he can find any more, as Nerzed wants to hold behind the corner here. I think he knows about it. Shots raining on through. Ragnarok desperately getting pulled back to his feet. They want to play on us 4.
Sighting as that forward bulwark is basically shielding their path, but it's Wolves and DX. DX targeting the team, directly chasing. Doran's already down. Paragin's on the sidelines, using the vehicle to get more of an approach on this one. Paragin looks to enter. Coops gets knocked out. North America's dreams are being dashed in front of our eyes.
Dastardly DX Xavier on the hunt here. The Wolves are the target. And now just Igor remains. A nade, anything would do it. Virtus Pro might be bearing witness to them. But they will put those nades in the building. You've got to imagine that this is going to be done and dusted for the Wolves. With 4 players from DX Xavier, they'll know who they have on their doorstep. They'll know what is at stake here. They will confirm this. In they go. Lambor in first. Nate as well. Hopping around the corner. The Molotov to burn them away. And the Wolves fall. They will not find their spot. NA's dreams burnt to a crisp.
DX now only have one other team to worry about, and is DRX. Alpha 7 though, a great initial nade. Swipes away the shield that has kept the Vanguard strong for Thundertalk for so long in sighting. Revo around the side with a nade, sends it over the top. Doesn't get too much damage done. The DBS in hand, we know what a monster this guy can be with it.
You've got Kara, you've got Alpha 7, you've got Thundertalk, you've got R8 all in this area. Blank, it's a battle for the top spots. The podium beckons these teams and they want to fight for it. They're out for blood, and Alpha 7 will be denied. 4th place, not locked in, but they will not be able to ascend towards the top, but more top spots. Let's go with that. Kara going to be trying to change the tune of Thundertalk and take that 2nd place back away from them.
King remains on top of the throne there versus Alpha 7. Not to be outdone whatsoever. The nades are starting to flow through, but who's this? It's R8 looking to finish off both the teams in 2nd and 3rd place. The one true King does appear here on our screens. It's R8 looking to finish things out in style.
No usurpers here. R8 looking to reign supreme over this fight between the top dogs of the lobby. The Mad Bulls may have an outside chance here to leapfrog quite far, but they are just to the north of this one, Blank. They're in the similar sort of area. They have to push south as well. Maybe this is their time. Maybe they get a chance to jump up to that podium as well. It would be a real outside chance. I'm also looking at that west edge, Blank. One of the few teams that can jump up. OG has got a 2-2 split going on. It's risky, but against APG, they've been making mistakes. So APG's mistakes can be capitalized on. We'll have to see how it goes as R8 continue to put pressure on the Thundertalk.
Yeah, R8 making it look easy right now. The nades flowing through, and Thundertalk at their wits' end at the moment. But still going strong as sighting continues to lay out the thunder. And they lay out the red carpet for the one true King. They welcome him into the concrete. And things are certainly going to get hard for R8 now.
A hand extended in greeting to the King. A dagger behind the back, and Thundertalk able to slip it between the rib. Perfectly found there on the fight, and R8 are down and out. 154 points, Thundertalk could chase, but the Mad Bulls might look to stop it here and now, dead in its tracks.
It's a tough chase indeed. 7 additional points needed from a duo there. Not easy to achieve with Mad Bulls and E-Arena waiting in the wings, but what a hold from Thundertalk. You got to give it to him there. GS, taking shots over towards Ulf, but it's Regnum Kaya with Zed Wolf finding a lovely mini 14 shot over towards Kaikse. This is DRX who desperately wants those points to catch up, but it's 10 points now and starting to get away from them with DX in the lead on 7th.
And 109 points. I don't know who had that on the over-under. It can only go up from here, and DX Xavier on that southwest side. They do need to move, actually, Blank, and they have to go through open ground. Could be interesting. Mad Bulls in and amongst the Thunder Talk players now. 3 teams have tried to take Thunder Talk out from this compound, Blank. Might be up to 4 now. There's AJ once more. No, he's going to get taken down in response, and now it is all up to Sighting. Maybe he moves forwards, maybe he looks for the flush, steps in through the door frame. On the outside, the garage door open for him. Pusher, nade around the corner, and that will be the end of Thunder Talk's run. 147, lock it in. As Kara now maybe soon for it too, but the nades from Arena trying to take down these top 5 spots. Mad Bull's not out of danger.
It's been an incredible amount of firepower been sent over towards these concretes. Everyone wants a hand at it. And Mad Bulls now have to be the one to hold on. But the resilience from Thunder Talk was something legendary there. Extremely cool to see. How can Mad Bulls be the one to hold on strong to his position? Sakura gets up on high. Joker takes an outside position. Good high air burst on that nade, though.
Does about half HP damage. They're going to have to leave the concretes now. No more fighting in them in about a minute or so because they have to kind of push south. Look at the hold currently for OG. DX Xavier sent so many teams committed to this north side, Blank. It has allowed DX Xavier to move through a more open ground than maybe they would have expected.
I couldn't quite believe they made that push in the first place. Nice nade from Flip.
Ooh.
Pushes out wide. Will take down Sakura and a good amount of damage over towards Turney K. Now looks to send one in a similar direction. Won't quite make it past the wall, though. Obscured by the smoke.
On the corner, turns it, and will be able to find the shot. Okay. The shot down to the rooftop as well. Lemon is on the hunt. He's squeezing him. And it is going to be Arena getting shut out of this one. No way did Lemon make that dash. He is unscathed as well on the outskirts there. But the blue zone, it pushes. They need to move fast, and they need to make a decision quickly.
A truly bitter, sweet lemon end there for Arena. A 1v4. Didn't want to wait for the rest of the team to tie their shoelaces. He just got on with it. DX Xavier holding this position. It's not a bad spot at all. Playing the ditch. It's slightly nadeable, but there's only really one player off in the distance there, and it is Kara Lewis, who is a solo. The Mad Bulls will be happy with that. What a way to finish things out there for Lemon.
APG moving in towards Virtus Pro. Aragon overwhelmed. A nade from Malloy to get some retribution. Top goes down. Has to crawl around the corner. Milky Way approaching with the pump action. Around the corner. Spots the run out, but he's confused. Doesn't know who to aim for there. And now it's up to Malloy. He's good for it, though. He's found 2 already. The knock on the nade to has started off, and he looks for more, but no. Just at the final turn, Reefus stays alive, but in comes a player from OG, but in comes the rest of the entire squad for Regnum Kaya. They're looking to tear this one apart, and they do it successfully. I mean, they didn't even really need to. I think that one was taken away by OG. APG are eliminated. They will be locked in down at 12th. What more can Regnum Kaya do? They made a huge commit going out there.
I think for OG, it's a nice time to make a flex out. They have been holding on this northwest side, taking a 2-2 split, trying to confirm as much area as possible. We're down to 8 teams now. OG looking to finish out the tournament strong. 92 points in 10th place. Regnum Kaya chasing that position.
9th place, I think, is now out of reach for Regnum Kaya. Mathematically, with 22 points that they could earn on elims, they would get a 32-point game. Oh, no, it isn't. It's just within reach. They would squeak through by the skin of their teeth. They could get up to 113, I believe, maximum, which is really quite saying something. That relies on them getting every single remaining elim in the lobby, though. So as soon as I think it's 4 more elims get out of the way, now are going to be locked out entirely. However, in the meantime, we'll refocus to the teams chasing DRX, wanting to try and put themselves over the top, but DXavier holding in their divot for so long. The Mad Bull's probably going to look to try and take them out of it.
OG being able to hold like two of the most profitable compounds this entire match is quite amusing. No one's really taken too many shots yet. They had a look in over towards Regenkai's position, but were quickly backed off as the rest of the team started to regroup there. And as a duo, it's a smart choice to make. Mad Bull's now up against DXavier, looking to profit more and hold on to this 7th place. They're already in placement point territory as well. So for DXavier, they realistically need 5 more points in the game.